Unable to reach it. Abdul Rahman in front of him. Here he is again, though, Mane. Rodak almost got caught in no man's land there. It's not too smart either from Vitinho. And then Joao Costa has caught the heels of Buchal.
Yeah, it was clever. Very clever. Asking for a card. Definitely not. He's looking for it. Brozovic is even saying it's the same sort of challenge as the one he made. I don't think it is. Any stretch.
There wasn't too much contact on Buchal at all, was there? It's one where, having got the free kick, you probably settle at that rather than pushing for further repercussions.
Yeah, that was the Mane one, wasn't it, where the goal was ruled out. Just half a yard offside.
And the outfield player to have played in all now 21 of Al-Nassr's Saudi Pro League games this season, Sadio Mane. Oh, some irritation from Joao Costa here, who has to be a little bit careful with what he says to the referee. So the two centre-halves of Al-Nassr are the ones that are at the back of the queue here. Laporte and the goal scorer of number 2, Al-Fatih. Brozovic's delivery. It's Al-Fatih again here. Oh, he went for the chip and Rodak aware, and the flag was going to go up regardless.
They're doing well to get complete control of the ball. Al-Fatih comes out, he's caught him, and he goes for, I'm not sure whether he's trying to take on Rodak or he's trying to pick out Ronaldo at that back post.
Another good night for Ayman Yahya. He's had the ball in the back of the net once legitimately, another that was ruled out for that offside that we saw just a moment ago from Sadio Mane, but Al-Nassr's faithful will be very content with his performance tonight, and all in his place we're going to see the 20-year-old Angelo, who Al-Nassr paid 89 million reals for to bring him in from Chelsea back in September. Just confirmation of that Al-Ettifaq change as well, with Vitinho making way for Damari Gray, a name you might be familiar with from his time in the Premier League with Everton, and of course a top-flight winner as well with Leicester City back in 2016. This is Mane winning it back again for Al-Nassr. The third goal would be a real problem for Ettifaq. Brozovic across, Ronaldo on the end of it. Rodak very brave to stop it.
Yeah, another collision from Rodak and Ronaldo. We've seen that one in the first half. I think this was very, very similar, because I think the ball just gets away from Ronaldo. He looked like he was onside as well. Again, the control here wasn't brilliantly, was it, defensively? See there, it just comes off the instep of the calf by the looks of it, and he just tries to prod it home, just coming together.
They'll be hoping that their 40-year-old superstar isn't feeling that too badly. 16 goals in his last 13 games for club and country, Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, it's just relentless.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, listen, it's not like he's a luxury, he works hard. I mean, he's just some player, some asset, and at fine age as well, he's still going strongly, isn't he? And still loves the game.
it stands, Al Nassr are going within 1 point of Al Hilal, who are in second. But hold that thought, here comes Wijnaldum. Threaded through for Toko Ekambi, he's got lots around him. Medran couldn't work it back to Wijnaldum again.
It was almost perfect by the icing on the cake of the pass, really. It was just a little bit short.
Al Hassan. Now John Duran. Is it going to be a night where he doesn't have an Al Nassr goal? Ronaldo. Angelo. Al Hassan. Here is the nippy Angelo. Got a lot of hope for him. He's only been on the pitch a couple of minutes, but the showboating is evident. Here is Mane, and that is going to be claimed by Rodak.
Very silky. Angelo. Good little touches, and then the little stand on the ball.
Former Santos player in Brazil. He actually was only 15 years old when he made his debut for the Brazilian Titans, so he was 11 days younger than Pele when he made his debut for Santos. So just in terms of pedigree, that's where they rated him at.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it does look like he's a talent, doesn't he? And showing the silky skills and ability.
Naji, back to Sadio Mane. Wijnaldum, Medran. Demarai Gray, good hold-up play by him. There is the tug on his shirt that was not going to be missed by the referee, by Al Fatil.
There's been good moments, haven't they, when they've got into good areas. Maybe just not had that end product for the good approach play.
Demarai Gray making tracks, almost lost his balance, then he regained it, but I think because of the slip it just sent him off course there, really.
Yeah, I think he's got to get his head up. I mean, he has that bit of vision and looks up. I think Ekambi that might have just peeled off and wanted that ball into the space where he could have probably been in a much better situation to go and get a goal. Chose to go alone. If you go alone, you've got to finish up with something.
Medran picking the pass, Costa hungry to get there, Bouchal. It's away with the Saudi Arabia squad at the Gulf Cup only in late December, Nawaf Bouchal. Very pleasant evening in Riyadh. It's not what you describe as a cold month here, really. February temperatures still typically in excess of 20 degrees centigrade, as they have been today. Entry. Abdullah Rahman didn't get it right, much to the angst of his coach.
Yeah, it's poor ball. So many players that are waiting for some kind of service delivery. Just ends up being nothing at all. It's been the story of the evening a little bit.
Oh, Bento almost got himself in a right angle there, the Al Nassr keeper. They're up the pitch where they need to be all of a sudden, Al Nassr. Mane. It's a bounce through to Duran, who's played a very clever pass into the penalty area for Angelo here. Angelo across, oh, awkward, it could have gone into his own net from Mukhtar Ali. That wouldn't have been the return that he was expecting to have here tonight.
He done really well in the end because it was ricocheting everywhere, and then he just composed himself really well to get control and clear the ball away.
Feels like in stages that Al Nassr are trying to, in many respects, slow the game down, and I don't feel that that's necessarily what Stefano Pioli wants down there on the touchline.
No, you want that third goal for Al Nassr.
It's the end of the evening for Mukhtar Ali. I'm sure he's going to get a good reception from the Al Nassr supporters as he leaves the pitch. Part of that double change, which is going to see Al-Mauki and indeed Bamassoud come on here. Joao Costa departing. Bamassoud, who's on loan from Al-Ettifaq. It's only his second appearance tonight. Long for Mane, holding off Hendry, who was holding on to Mane, was he? Well, the flag is up for offside, so there is no decision here for the referee to make in terms of potential contact there.
It was a direct pass, and again, that one looks relatively tight. And they just may be leaning into an offside position.
Would have been a bit relieved there, Jack Hendry, because he did put his hands on top of Mane's shoulders.
It would have been one looked at, wouldn't it? Because once you're in that final third from an attacking point of view and a defensive point of view, and that was where Jack Hendry had his hands on him and maybe been the only defender that was left, so I might feel a little bit relieved.
Well, I think that's what the delay is here. There is a check to see whether the offside was the correct call, and obviously if it wasn't, then they might review that coming together involving Hendry. Indeed, the offside has now been confirmed. Abdul Rahman, he's been bright since he's come on, and off he goes, and look at all that room ahead of him. Abdul Rahman, it's deflected in off Al-Fatih for 2-2. Well, he is having one of those nights. At fault for the first, scoring Al Nassr's second, and now the unfortunate party that has pulled Al-Ettifaq back level again.
Oh, wow. And that's why you want to go and get that extra goal just to be comfortable, because Al-Ettifaq have really give it a go, haven't they, since making the changes. This ball here, it's a massive deflection, it is. Abdullah Rahman, he's looked bright and sharp, hasn't he? And he just cuts it back. And listen, is it down to communication that Fatih doesn't get the call? Or does he just use his instinct and think, I've got to clear it, there's an attacking player on the vicinity? But maybe he should have had a shout from Bento. What an awful, awful goal. And as you said, crazy evening for Al-Fatih.
Well, if he'd only been using his head tonight, he'd be all right. Can't believe how this evening is developing, the Al Nassr centre-back. And I imagine that most of the home crowd inside Al Awal Park are beginning to think that this might not be Al Nassr's evening after all.
No, to be honest, you look at the way the game's panned out. It has been relatively quite even, hasn't it? I mean, the goals have come, and maybe Nassr just got a bit complacent.
And what if they go and win this, Al-Ettifaq? They'll feel they might be able to. This is Al-Mauki, Damari Gray, Medran, Jack Hendry. Remember, this Al Nassr team have not been beaten so far in 2025. Adam's got the throw here. The message coming from the bench from Saad Al-Shahiri is just settle down a little.
Well, they're feeling that momentum might just go and get them maybe a third and a winning goal.
On loan Al Hilal man, Al-Maki has just won another throw. Could be a blockbuster final 6 minutes.
Yes, for sure. Just to think that 0-0 at half-time, it was screaming out for goals, wasn't it? And it has produced that in this second half.
Well, Laporte is struggling, and the grimace on his face was telling a picture for a couple of minutes, so he is off. Al-Sulahim is coming on, the Riyadh-born midfielder. I don't know if he's going to play in defence here or as a central midfielder in a reshuffle. We'll find out. Al-Ettifaq are going to see if they can test this rejigged Al Nassr backline here. Throw in, it's not gone the way of Bamasoud. Well, he's done it once before, and when he beat Al Nassr 7 years ago, it was by 3 goals to 2. It couldn't possibly happen again, could it?
Well, there's a sneaky squeak of that happening, isn't there?
To lose Laporte at this stage of a game is a massive blow for Al Nassr. There's no getting away from that.
Yeah, it's a big blow.
Here's Brozovic. Ronaldo. Somebody for Al Nassr here needs to step up if they're to win this game once and for all. Al-Naji. Brozovic could have taken it on himself. He tried to be unselfish.
Yeah, I thought if he leaves it, Ronaldo's certainly in.
And look at Wijnaldum go for Al-Ettifaq. They're struggling to stay with him here. Wijnaldum and Toko Ekambi has not beaten Bento because he's made another top stop, the goalkeeper. It's a corner.
Well, Ronaldo did absolutely superb, he really did. The counter-attack, it's absolutely first class. Have a look at this, bursting with pace, 2v2, just chops back, and then Ekambi does well really not to go in and stray into an offside position, holds his line and then gets his strike off. Well, this isn't an easy save, by the way. Bento has to beat Banga his guard at that near post.
So Damari Gray with the Al-Ettifaq corner, which isn't his greatest. Medran lifting it forward. Bento was off his line, he needed to get back to it. He's certainly got a touch that was enough to turn Wijnaldum's header away.
Yeah, it's a brilliant pick out. Have a look at this. This is quite superb. It really is. Direct pass, and then I just love the vision there at Wijnaldum, and equally marked with a brilliant save from Bento, as he has it all to do. Tell you what, the two goalkeepers have pulled out some magnificent saves this evening.
It just feels like there is one more twist to come in this game. The thing is, you don't know what the twist is going to be.
Exactly, that's the good thing about being a neutral, isn't it? Is that it could go either way, this could.
Medran's corner. Al-Mauki's not got that right. That would have been the unlikely source of a winning goal from Abdullah Al-Mauki. It's 4 years since his last goal.
Yeah, well, it's a difficult one to take on first time, but we're getting to that stage of the game where things have really gone the way of Al-Ettifaq, haven't they? So you may as well have a shot from that sort of range.
Well, the visitors tonight, who, remember, were beaten last week by the team that were at the bottom of the table, Al Fateh. But tonight, against one of the top sides in this Saudi Pro League, they have more than held their own, and they're the ones who are coming on strongest.
Yeah, they are. They've both had really good spells in the game, haven't they, where we've had periods of one side dictating, but now it feels like Al-Ettifaq are the ones that maybe just have the initiative to go and take that.
Medran, Toko Ekambi trying to power through. Oh, they've won it! Wijnaldum has won it for Al-Ettifaq. The biggest player in their season has arguably scored the biggest goal of their season. And in the 89th minute, for the first time tonight, Al-Ettifaq are in front.
What a goal, what a goal. I mean, the work ethic, we felt that there was something coming, but talk me through this finish. It's absolutely top class, and from a top class player. Ronaldo, he has been magnificent in this game. I think second half he's really come to light, but that, I mean, if it is the winning goal, which there's a good chance it will be, it's an absolute stunner from Ronaldo, and you might say in the second half probably deserved as well.
Well, can you believe that history is repeating itself? 7 years ago, when Saad Al-Shahiri came in for his first spell with Al-Ettifaq, in one of his very first games, he beat Al-Nassr by 3-2, and it seems that the same thing is happening again, and all of this is happening around a sea of confusion here. There is a suggestion that the referee, amongst those celebrations, has reached into his pocket here. But what exactly has happened?
Yeah, well, Ronaldo's clearly furious, and who and what is going on? I think we were just so overwhelmed with the goal, wasn't we? Al-Ettifaq scored. I mean, it's been some game, and what a brace that was for Ronaldo. The strike was inch perfect, absolutely no chance for Bento at all. I'm not sure who's actually been given the red card.
Well, he's had a really difficult night, Kirill Levnikov, because he's had a lot of decisions to make this evening, the Russian official. There's a yellow card for Al-Malki, who seemed to be involved in the incident. Sadio Mane is obviously annoyed with him right now as well. Well, I have to tell you, we are not too clear right now from exactly what has gone on off the ball there. But I would hazard a guess that he's been heavily involved in it, Al-Malki.
It looks that way. You're furious, aren't you? I mean, obviously tension so high as well, and then disappointment comes into that category.
Well, they're definitely a number light, Al-Nassr, so they have had a player sent off. There is a suggestion that John Duran is the one who has been red carded. He's no longer on the pitch, so if he hasn't been substituted, he's been sent off here.
Yeah, I did see him walking towards the byline, and whether there's been infringement that we just didn't see because of the goal and the uproar.
They had a man sent off last week in Simakan, and they still managed to win the game, but they're trying to salvage a point here, Al-Nassr. Against the odds once more, into the box for Angelo. Away by Al-Malki. This is Wijnaldum. 2 goals tonight for Georginio Wijnaldum, and he's on a hat-trick. He's not going to get it, is he, surely? It's incredible what energy is in those legs.
Oh, honestly, he's been brilliant. I mean, I'm not just saying that because he's got the 2 goals and potentially the winning goal, but everything he does, it's positive. There's a real fantastic way about how he gets forward. And the goals have just topped it off, but as you said, he's burst forward that have broke lines and relieved pressure. It's been quite phenomenal.
11 minutes of stoppage time, and Al-Ettifaq are not settling on this. They want to finish the game once and for all. Caught well by Bento.
Still plenty of time here.
Al-Nassr, though, will be looking at this situation and wondering how it has reached this point on a night where they're trying to pull themselves closer to the top 2. Can Ronaldo get them out of a hole here? When he really had Mane in the box, so was probably right just to cling on to it for a bit longer. Cristiano Ronaldo. Now Brozovic. Played by Madu. There is the confirmation, the confirmation of John Duran's red card, but what we don't know and still are not clear about is quite why John Duran has been sent off here. Lifted in and away by Hendry, but not fully away. And the pass never quite came all the way through to Al-Salahim, who has then fouled Madran. This is a wild finish to this game, Lee.
It is. I mean, the great...
Oh, here we go. We're going to see what Duran got sent off for. It's a raised arm. He slapped the back of the head of Al-Malki, and that is why John Duran has departed this game.
Yeah, I mean, you raise your hand in this game, and you can't afford to. Every angle's covered, whether there was intent, whether it was a joke. It's always going to happen when you raise your arm in a game, so you can see why they'll have looked as well. So and it's pretty clear what he's done. Really down to frustration.
Damari Gray trying to wriggle his way past Al Hassan, who's having to play as that makeshift centre-half now in the absence of Laporte.
Yeah, just dropped back in to fill that.
Brozovic stopped by Hendry. Collected by Toko Akambi, who had a big role to play in that Wijnaldum goal. Toko Akambi, saved by Bento. Here he is again, Toko Akambi. And then the try from a little further out from Al-Malki.
You just feel that maybe running that ball into the corner and relieving the pressure. Looks like they want to go and get a fourth, doesn't it?
It is ultimately just attack versus defence and then a switch of roles. There's no midfield at the moment from either team. Mane looking down at Al-Naji to say, why weren't you a bit sharper to get onto that pass?
Yeah, the danger is that Nassr are trying to get that equalising goal, that they're leaving themselves wide open back there in a 2v2 because of that extra player.
Mane. It's loose from him. So who's going to carry it forward? It's Wijnaldum again, but for the first time tonight, it feels like Wijnaldum's done something wrong.
I think it is the first time tonight as well. Real poor from him.
Well, they're spurning a giant opportunity here, Al Nassr. They've still got a few minutes to try and get a point from this, but really all the expectation, despite the fact that Al-Ettifaq have generally been very resolute away from home this season, would have been that Al Nassr would win this game tonight, that they'd make up the ground on Al Hilal and Al Ittihad.
I think having led twice, you do feel that was certainly going to be the case, wasn't it? And whether a bit of complacency got in, whether they sat in and just felt comfortable about being in control, but it wasn't the case. I just felt it's been pretty end-to-end anyway in this second half, and we've seen what Ettifaq are capable of doing, and they've proved that this evening, so credit to them. They've had to bounce back twice, 3 times. Might just get them all 3 points.
There's Al-Naji. Back to the luckless Al Patil. Now Bouchal. As far as Brozovic. Lots of space for Al-Naji here. Can't get that ball into the box where a desperate Cristiano Ronaldo was waiting for it. Al-Ettifaq not able to get the pass right either. Damari Gray wasn't expecting it to be that poor, then didn't realise he still had the chance to get to it.
They need to get hold of the ball because it's been given away far too cheaply. 2, 3, 4 times now.
And the 10 men of Al Nassr do it again. It's Bouchal, it's Ronaldo. It was taken off his toes. Everybody in the ground was on their feet.
I found that was just going to fall to Ronaldo, and you know where that was going to end up.
Toko Akambi suddenly realising there is no rush for Al-Ettifaq here.
With that extra body on the pitch, it's taken into spaces.
Abdul Rahman does have a couple of options in the box if he wants to use any of them. Now Al-Mauki, who is irritated enough tonight already that I imagine that one or two would like to get a little close to him here. Throw's gone against him.
I thought there was a clear push in the back there, if I'm being quite honest. I know that he's trying to protect the ball, but manhandled there.
So we've almost played the 10 of the 11 minimum added on minutes here. Al Nassr are walking up to the bar now, aren't they, in the last chance saloon?
Yeah, well, you feel that you have to have one last attack, and it's got to come of something.
Brozovic, but doesn't want to just crash it forward. They want to protect it a little more, but time is against Al Nassr now. So many tired bodies out on that pitch. Brozovic. Al-Naji into an area of promise. It's sat down for Mane, who's managed to cling on to it here, Sadio Mane. Al-Naji. Bouchal, maybe this is still on for Al Nassr. One last opportunity, maybe. Brozovic. Mane, delicately brought down by him. Here's the chance. Oh, it's wide. Angelo nearly grabbing the equaliser. It wouldn't have counted anyway, as the offside flag had gone up.
I imagine that would have just summed this game up. Mane just been constrained offside. Tell you what, it was some strike, was it, from Angelo, just drifting past the post, always going to go away from goal.
And I think most in yellow and blue on that pitch know that that was the moment. Not a great clearance at all from Rodak. Just when all eyes were on the official, maybe Al Nassr are going to have another chance here. Bento is going to try and start it from deep, but it has to be hurried along now from Al Nassr. Down off the chest of Ronaldo to Brozovic. Al-Naji. Al-Ettifaq just trying to summon those last particles of energy to get round the pitch here, to get them over the line.
I know it's a massive win, that's why. Huge win.
Angelo not able to spin away from Madou. And it's going to be an Al-Ettifaq throw, and there's going to be no rush at all from the visitors to take this. They are mighty close now to one of their most notable wins of many years.
Yeah, it'll be some win, it really will. And can this push them to finish strongly in the back end of this campaign? They've looked good, haven't they?
And they can seal it perhaps here with Wijnaldum, who's on a hat-trick, and he wanted to do it himself, and maybe you can understand why. It's all over. The wonder of Wijnaldum. 2 for him on a famous night for Al-Ettifaq. For the first time in 2025, Stefano Pioli's Al Nassr have been beaten. And on an evening where they could put some real serious pressure on Al Ittihad and Al Hilal, the teams above them in this title race, They've blown that opportunity to lose at home to mid-table Al-Ettifaq.
Oh, it's absolutely gut-wrenching, isn't it? Because, well, I said, they take the lead twice, and you feel that they can keep going. They just switched off at times. Yes, there was some, at times, real poor defending, but credit to Al-Ettifaq. They've responded well. Ronaldo was fantastic, and what a result that was.
2 goals from him, 5 goals in the second half in all, and that red card for John Duran. It all happened, and ultimately a night of regret for Al Nassr. It's finished Al Nassr 2, Al-Ettifaq 3.